Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have YuGiOh on Madolche going up against Madolche on Ishizu Tearlament. They're going to start off by activating Shaylin, Effect, discard Keldo, Mills Miri, Crime, and Talons. Now Madolche, okay, this deck, I've talked about it before, it's not that bad, okay, it's not that great, but it's not that bad. It's got a lot of very cool interactions with it. So they're going to Druid Swarm the Miri, and I want to see how they've decided to play it, because there's not a set stone on way how to play Madolche. A lot of people haven't tried actually playing Madolche in a while, and like switching it up and trying new things. Activate Planet to go search. Then it's going to search out the Rhino Heart. I create 4-0 too. That's good. It's pretty good. So grabs the Rhino, and then normal summon Rhino, Rhino Effect. Now this does play around another Bestial, because they're going to go dump Havness, and then get Havness Effect. And if they get with a Bestial there, they can keep going by just going Redoer, attach Shaylin, and then Shaylin Effect to fuse into Kikalos. Now we won't be able to fuse again after that, because we would have already used all 3 names. But you can get to a trap card. You could Planet Pop the second Bestial, the one that wouldn't be Druid Swarm. Yeah, so Havness is activated, yeah. Okay, so gonna go ahead, put back itself and the Shaylin, bring out Kikalos. Then we're gonna activate Kikalos Effect. We're not gonna Planet Pop the Druid Swarm because it's gonna be able to out our Kikalos. And it seems that we do not want that, which means we are going to be Kikalos tagging out into something else. Madolche might also know what his opponent's on. I'm fairly certain I've seen this guy around before in these streams. I have no idea what they searched there, but so this player is known, and then at the same time he's on Madolche, so that's gonna bring some attraction to him. Kikalos tag out in the Miri, and then we're gonna get merely Kikalos, so go mill 8. Let's see, we see Keldo, Midoriya, Keldo, Bell, Terraforming, Shaylin, Druid Swarm, and Magma. Okay, so Shaylin is the last name that we have not activated, and it's the only name we hit, so we're gonna activate that effect now to go fuse, putting back Kikalos and itself. This could bring out Rukalos or a Dragos Tapalia, or I guess even a Garua if we decide to go for that. We don't usually see that play though. Yeah, bring out Rukalos. Before Rukalos came out, we would see sometimes people make Garua over Dragos Tapalia. Now we're going to link off, make Elf. Yeah, definitely not Sprint. We've already used Miri. And then Elf Effect, summon back out the merely from the grave. Oh, okay. Maybe plays the Diviner in the deck. Yeah, Diviner. Maybe play. I don't think they played the Sprites. If they played the Sprite, they might. I was gonna say because I feel like they would have put it up here. Nope. All right. Yeah, go bring out Jet Effect to search. Maybe just plays the 1 Jet, 1 Smashers. That could be the case. They detached Elf, which makes me think that they're gonna use their shuffle back on Elf now. Yeah, putting back the Elf so that way they can make it with the Gigantic and the Jet. And then thinking if they want to put anything else back. Puts back Terraforming. So putting back power spells with your Ishizus does make sense sometimes. I think I was wrong about it before because I wasn't thinking about the rank 6 YuGiOh taking them. I think if YuGiOh takes something good, then that can hurt you. But you also need to be in a scenario where like YuGiOh can actually be made. Like in this scenario, because they have Druid Swarm, I would shuffle back my Terraforming. But if my opponent didn't do anything turn 1, then there's just no way I'm ever shuffling back my Terraforming. I guess because like they'd have to like draw a Bastille or have held one, and then they would also need to be able to get to a Garua, or just have 2 Bastilles in hand or something like that. They have more graveyard interruptions. They have the Midoriya and the Keldo in graveyard, so they do have both of the shufflers. Then the shufflers are able to trigger Planet, maybe stop a Hoot Cake. Also, by the way, this is the best Vernuslift deck. I don't know why people really like Vernuslift Nachiria. Madolche Vernuslift is just way better. I'm happy that they're playing these cards. Yeah, they're going to have to read it, which is fair. If I put against these cards, even though I pretty much know what all the Vernuslifts do, I would still reread over them just to, just to make sure. Because these aren't cards that you typically have to read normally. Because, like, you never play against these cards. So, they're reading over it. Then they're going to read over Angeli. I think they should negate this with the Root Kalos. I think Root Kalos should be negating this right now. Because if they have another Vernuslift, then they have to, like, use their hand until they're down to 1 card. But if they do have another Vernuslift, I mean, they do get a lot out of it. Because the Vernuslift summon back another monster from the grave. So, they pretty much are going to get to bring back Angeli. Which is why... Yeah, I mean, they're probably just thinking on this a lot. Maybe just chain that instead. Yeah, I don't... Because you don't need to Root Kalos this. I think I may have been a little too, trigger happy with the Root Kalos. Because just putting back Angeli with that's a pretty strong play. And then they're also going to put back the Gigantic. And then can't put back the Jet, which they seem like they wanted to do there for a slight second. Can't do that because you need to keep a Sprite card in the graveyard for Smashers. I guess could have also shuffled back a tier if they wanted to trigger Planet to pop Druid Worm just to get another body off board. But the effect will be going through now. They won't get to bring back an Angeli from the graveyard though. But they will get to go ahead and bring that back. Which I don't think the opponent really thought about. Yeah, I don't think they really thought about that, because they kind of did put back a random card. They put back Magma Mutt when they didn't need to put back Magma Mutt, because the opponent was never using that Magma Mutt this turn. We're going to go in the dark. Druid Worm effect. Okay, Druid Worm effect, trying to target the Root Kalos, but you cannot target Root Kalos as Elf is pointing to the Root Kalos. And it seems like that player really is not thinking about the Elf. But also, I honestly, I need to read over the Vernuslifts now, because the Vernuslift that they activated should be locking them. So how the cards work is you get locked into Earth effects, not Earth summons. And that's big, because you can actually summon Abyss Dweller, and you can't use the effect on your turn, but you can use the effect of the Abyss Dweller on the opponent's turn. So they shouldn't actually be able to activate Druid Worm effect here, because it should be locked in the Earth effects. And they also can't use Dark, which is why I said, like, shuffling back Magma Mutt just doesn't make sense, because, like, they can't Dark take when they're locked in the Earth effects. So now they're going to activate Madolche, Salon. That should not have been Dark. I wonder, they got to play Asa, right? Looks like they play so many Earths in their deck. Okay, so they're going to read over it one more time. It gives you an extra summon. They're gonna Elf effect, summon back out Miri. Or try to. Chain Keldo. They can also use Ishizus to take monsters out of your graveyard. So that way you can activate your Petting Cessor effect to summon itself from the hand. That is another line. I don't think they do it here because they probably would have started off with Petting Cessor. So they're going to put back Miri, Jet, and Midoriya. So this is going to force Midoriya if they want to activate it at all, because they only have that one engrave. They could still mill later on and hit a Midoriya. They're targeting Miri, which is going to affect the elf, and they're targeting Jet, which is going to force Smashers. Because you either activate Smashers here, or you will simply not be activating Smashers at all this turn. So you might just activate Smashers just to, like, get Dark off board, you know, why not? Or hit the Madolche. So they're going to chain Midoriya, putting back Druis Worm. Their Vernislift. And then they're thinking about the last putback. You could put back a tier monster just to trigger Planet, but again, what else is in Malte's hand? You're gonna banish the Madolche card and Elf. Okay, the Elf's banished. Yeah. Miri's in deck, Elf banished. It's a big difference. Hope someone catches it, because Elf in Graveyard can get shuffled back to be reused again, while Elf banished is really just gone. Okay. So, now, passing over the deck to cut. Both of them real quick. And then... like, what can he have to keep pushing through? Especially with the Rukalis that has not used its effect. Yeah, they're looking at their own graveyard. Malte's looking at the graveyard. I think I see a Kelbeck in his hand. Oh, the Merely was shuffled back off the opponent's tier. Or off the opponent's effect. Yeah, okay. That's why they didn't need to shuffle back their own tier, because I forgot Merely was shuffled back off the opponent's Ishizu effect, the Merely. Okay, that makes sense. So Planet Pop Dark, and then they pass. So now, Malte... I think I still had Kelbeck in hand. Okay, it's going to go Druis Worm, targeting Druis Worm. Bring it out. And then activate Magma, banish, summon. That is game. 2, 2, 3, plus 500 with Planet not even needed. Okay, so that is game 1. Going on to the next game now. We are going to get to see Madolche decide, and Madolche will be going first. I hope we get to see a lot of good interactions, like Teacher, add back 2 from Grave. Or there's just so many different things the deck can go for, and like none of it is like, you know, I have no idea what they're going for. Are they going to try to end on Barrier Statue? Is that what they're going to try to do? Hey, there we go. We see the Petting Cessor. It's crazy. It's a good starter. The deck, this build of Madolche does not break nearly as much as the old build used to. The old build of Madolche had 9 starters in it, 3 Magdalene, 3 Petting Cessor, 3 Angeli, and then it had like Prosperity to get to it. So the deck had a big problem with bricking. And the fact that like older starters just like easily lost to a hand trap. They're going to go ahead and activate. And then they're going to discard itself and the Mudora. I can't tell what... Oh, okay. They're going to Gamma that. For a second, I was like, why are they in their deck? I was like, I don't think that's what it does, but... Alright, going to Gamma that. Pretty good Gamma. Stopping them from getting a Search and a Summon back. And then... Oh! Let's go! They're going to use Ducks! They don't have an interruption for that, though. I know you don't. Let's go! Little ducks on the pond. Little ducks on the pond. Yes, sir. Look at them. Look at them. Yes, sir. The little baby ducks. And then that's the mama duck. Then we're going to get to bring Angeli back from graveyard with our duck. Angeli effect, tribute itself. And that is combo. You can also... okay, we'll see what they do. Let's see what they do. I don't wanna spoil anything. Banish, go summon. The Gamma there was a little bit weird. A little bit. At the same time, it was like okay, cause like you just hope that your opponent doesn't do anything else. If you don't know the matchup, honestly, you probably just Gamma the first thing and pray. That's what a lot of people do when they don't know the matchup. They'll just be like, okay, I'm going to stop the first things, everything they do, and just pray. Okay, it makes Teacher. Teacher is very good interruption. On the opponent's turn 2, you can get it to where like their tier effects are chain link 1, your Teacher's chain link 2. You can spin back the tiers that they activate. On your turn, you can't do that because Teacher would be 1 and the tier would be 2. Okay, now they're going to summon out. Oh, I forget, Chocolate. Yeah, they're gonna summon that, and it's just the rank 5 that can go over any Madolche, and then affect the target 1 in the graveyard to shuffle it back. Or Chocolate mode. There we go. There we go. So we can use the effect to shuffle 1 back from our graveyard into deck, and then activate the other effect to detach and go ahead and special summon. Okay, so effect, spin back the Angeli, and then we will go ahead and use the effect to special summon out from the deck. Pretty solid. So that's summon Messengelato. See Angeli in their hand. Yeah, summon Messengelato effect to go search. As long as it's summoned and you have a Madolche that is a beast, then you can use it to go search for a Madolche spell or trap. I feel like it says on it that the beast needs to stay on the field too for it to activate and resolve. I may be wrong about that, but you know, you need the beast to do it. You can't just Angeli summon out Messengelato as your first play and go get a search. They're gonna go search the Salon or Chateau. Okay. Oh, that card came Ultra? Okay, okay. Little minor upgrade. I used to have to play with the common Chateau, common Ticket. I don't know if Ticket got an upgrade, but I'm guessing if Chateau did, then that did. So we get the shuffle back when that's activated. And then... yeah, now we're going to get the other effect. Because when it's activated, it shuffles all Madolche monsters from your graveyard back in the deck. And then we're going to get the effect to detach and go special summon. Okay, so now... I guess that could also bring out another Messengelato. If they play to... oh! Oh! I don't even know what that one does! I'm behind! Oh my god, it's not the Butler, right? That's not the Butler. It is the Butler-usk. That is it. Okay. When this card is destroyed battle, sent to the graveyard, shuffle in the deck. Okay, that's obvious. All of Madolches have that. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 field spell from the deck to your hand. There must be another Madolche monster on the field to activate and resolve the effect. Wow. Oh. When it's normal summon, though. I guess a lot of your plays start with Vernislips, right? So then you can use that to get to Necro Valley. I mean, that's what it's for, right? Like, obviously it's for Necro Valley. Like, that card's just crazy. Oh, and you can... because you have the extra summon... oh, okay. I like this. See, that's clean. That's clean. I didn't even think about that. That's good. I'm learning. I am simply taking notes. Yugen, you simply are the teacher. Take me to Madolche world. Teach me the goo. Makes the link. I think it's like fresh Sistart. Okay, now we can overlay. Go for Teacher. This card's so good. Such a good card. So what? This is going to add back Butler and a Vernisif? Or what's in their graveyard exactly? Effect target itself. Now we're going to activate the second effect. The two cards we'll be shuffling from the graveyard back into deck are Angeli and our Butler, but they will not be getting shuffled into deck as Chateau says if a Madolche would be shuffled into deck by a monster effect, you can add it to hand instead. So now we're going to summon Butler, Butler effect, grab Necker Valley. Everyone in chat said, oh, they're just going to have to use the extra normal summon. Nah, that's the first normal summon. We didn't normal to do any of that. But the end board isn't that crazy. We do have Teacher, we do have Necker Valley, but it's really not that good of an end board. It's like good enough, I guess. Okay, so they're reading over this stuff. This could be broken. Let's see what Malte has. There is about 21 minutes left currently. They have to read over what every Madolche card does. If you play a rogue deck, this is one downside that you will have. You'll have a lot of, like, there's a downside and an upside to your opponent needing to read all your cards. Huge upside, they will almost never interact with your cards correctly. Huge downside, time. It takes a lot of time to read 20 cards, or let's just say 8 cards that somebody's never read before. It's going to take a while for them to read 8 cards, especially twice, because everyone's going to read over the card and be like, okay, let me make sure, because you don't want to mess up. And like the meta cards, everybody should know going into a tournament, but then you go up against like Madolche, like I don't even know what this card did. Activate Planet, go search. Yeah, cause search. I wonder if they play Zeus. Search Shaylin. Or maybe Rhino. If they have Ishizu, that could give them the more level 4s. Okay, yeah, so they added Rhino. Normal Rhino. And then it's not using the effect. Does have Keldo. Okay, so maybe we see a Zeus line if they don't play Zeus. Maybe they just make Babushka. So they're going to summon Keldo. They get to search off of it. If they're going to want to search. There is a Medora in the opponent's grave. Yeah, it searches. It's, that is correct. We can't, I can't see what they search. And then overlay. Exceton Knight. That could be another card. Go for Dweller. Okay, so they definitely play Zeus if they're going for Dweller here. Or they're just simply admitting defeat. Okay, so go battle phase. Then they're going to attack. Can't tell what they're attacking there. I don't know how much attack the Butler has. But they're going to attack into Teacher and take damage. Like, the Link and Butler, I guess, like, Dweller's also getting 500, so it's at 22, right? Dweller can for sure beat over something. And then, yeah, they're gonna go Ulti Dweller and Ulti Zeus. Rich, by the way. Detach to go wipe the field. They're going to chain Teacher, target a monster, so that way it's protected. Is there also... I don't think there's a world where you don't detach Keldo, right? Because you could keep Keldo under Zeus. Because once Zeus, like, does its thing... Or no, I guess you want Keldo in the grave. So that way you can use it to banish to then shuffle back the opponent's Midoriya. So that way you can start using your tiers. They also chose not to use Kelbeck effect. Maybe it's because only like Tearlament, Scream, Solik would be good mills on their side. And the opponent's mills could all be pretty decent depending on what they hit. Being able to Chateau add back hand traps is a very insane feeling. So now they're going to use the Keldo effect, but the board's being broken here. We just need to see Malte have more. And even if they do have more, there might just be hand traps on Yugen's side. So I'm not sure how many cards in his hand are known. I know he has a bunch of cards in hand. At least 2. I think it's 2 Angeli in hand, right? Or maybe it's only 1 Angeli. I think we discarded the other one for the Vernisif. Okay, so they're going to try to use Keldo to shuffle back, and they're going to chain the Midoriya to now shuffle back. So Rhinoheart is going to get shuffled back. Okay, so they have, I think there was Ducks and Angeli in hand. And having the XYZ on board on their field is pressure. Because it is main phase 2, and it is currently unaffected. So, puts back Necker Valley, Butter, and Rhino. Seems fair enough to me. Having access back into your Necker Valley engine, and then we're going to get the Madolche effect, because a Madolche had went to deck. So then we can get that effect to go special. I'm guessing that brings out... Okay, so it brings out Petting Sussor. I was going to say, probably brings out Petting Sussor, but if we have a Bestial in hand... Oh, but we know we don't. Never mind. If you have a Bestial in hand, you want to go for Petting Sussor, because it locks you in the Madolche if you activate its effect. And then get its effect to go special. So now that could go summon like an Angeli, probably Nox, we have one in hand. Probably just go summon Hoot Cake directly. Yeah. It is a level 2 now that it was summoned off of that, which is why like turn 1 we could use this to summon out the level 5, the Pudding Sus, something like that. We were able to use that to overlay into a rank 4 even though it is a level 5. Because you kind of need to do that, so that way this will have its extra effect. Now they're going to go Instant Fusion. That's a good card. That's a good card. Pay 1,000 life points, summon Kikalos. And then activate Kikalos effect. And there's never a world where... Yeah, I guess we were never activating Instant Fusion for Kit first. Even though it could play around a potential hand trap. Go search merely. But they might just know both cards in hand. I don't know if both of Yugen's cards were added. So I think they were added off of Teacher and Chateau. I guess both Chateau at that point, but Kikalos effect, target itself, tag out to go summon. Bring out merely. And then effects, so go mill 8. We're going to see Rhino, merely, Jet, Rhino, Keldo, Scream, Havness. Yo, look at him. You know he just looked at his friend. You know he just looked at his friend. You know, look at him. He looks so defeated. Yeah, mill 8 into getting to go grab a trap card, having Graveyard Interruption, getting a couple fusion summons. Jet's in Graveyard 2 now, so we could Elf summon that back. Yeah, they gotta go resolve the chain. Like they get to go search for the trap. And Tearlament Crime. I can tell because there's a very small C there. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. I could have just waited and he would have grabbed it. Reading over Tearlament Crime now. That card is, I would say, fairly popular in this tournament, as Tearlament is, you know, like the best deck currently. It's the most popular deck, at least for sure, by a very good margin. I mean, they still got to clean the game up. The game's not over. Just like Kobe said, the job's not done. So he still has to actually do the plays. And he cheated out one fusion with instant fusions. Now he still has all 3 tier fuses, while also having Kikalis in the mix, which is really good. So brings out Dragos Tapalia. And this sucks because even if Madolche wins this game, then game 3, it's such an advantage for tier. With time will be very close if Madolche wins this game. Looking at their cards real quick. I guess just checking for dark attributes, maybe. Raiding over Dragos Tapalia. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like, your opponent takes forever on thinking that you're just going to start picking up their cards, and, like, because why not? I'm going to pick up your card because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to read over it, I'm going to double check it, triple check it, and then I'm going to hand it back to you. You can also make people think you're a bot by doing that. Because if I grab their card to read it, they're going to be like, oh man, this guy sucks. Which is fair. Summon back Jet, and then Jet effect. Go search Smashers. Yeah, so now there's Smashers there too. They do need to get a Sprite card in Graveyard though, so they do need to overlay for Gigantic. Yeah, they could overlay for Gigantic and then use that to go summon from deck. And they probably don't play Diviner since they played Jet. So then it's just going to go summon out a Merely. Detaching the elves, that way they can put it back with one of their shuffles. Let's go bring out the Merely. And just put back, and put back, and then link off in the elf. So activate Keldo. Putting back Elf, Zeus, and something else. Someone said thoughts on Merely to 0 chat. Like, Merely to 0 would do a lot. Like, don't get like Merely to 0, because Merely is the best. Like, it's not the best tier element when it comes to main deck, but it is one that you can get a lot of access to fairly easy. Like Havness is good, Planet's good. I mean, they have a lot of good cards. If you just want to ban something to like end the deck, just ban Kikalis, and the deck is like probably just no longer played. And if it's played, then it'd be very, very fair, I think, because Kikalis is like a really very impactful, very strong card. Without Kikalis, then like Rukalis literally isn't a card anymore. Unless you play King of the Swamp. That's a cool interaction. King of the Swamp and the Rukalos. But is it good? No. So you have to play King of the Swamp. So Dragos Tapalia, yeah, they're reading over it or asking about it, something. So I think they used it and pointed at the Hoot Cake, which is gonna put a counter on Hoot Cake, which means its effects that would act like the activated effects of Hoot Cake this turn. If they would be activated, they will be negated as long as Dragos Tapalia is there. Hmm. 7 minutes, 40 seconds left. Madolche is up in life. They do have that going for him. Just asking about Kikalos. Okay, switches Hoot Cake to attack position. Someone says Konami does an emergency hit this deck. After this YCS, I quit. Cool. Like, the cards just came out. We knew these cards were coming for months, right? Like, there's nothing surprising. So we milled, we hit Kelda, Midoriya, and Rhino. They have Crime set, so maybe doesn't want to get rid of their tier card in hand for Rhino while they have Crime. Okay. You know, summon there at Yugen. Okay. Brings out Angeli. On the summon. It appears that Multi... Oh, it's asking what it does. That contribute itself and go summon a Madolche from deck, and it cannot be destroyed by battle until the end of the opponent's turn. Asking what it does again. A lot of time is going by now. A lot of time. Okay, so said summon's fine. You can't Dragos Tapalia, negate it. Because you can go Dragos Tapalia, target Angeli, put a counter on it. Cool, Angeli effect, tribute for cost, go summon from deck anyways. Summon Tiramisu. That's the queen of the deck. You can use the effect, detach, target up to 2 Madolche cards, not monsters in the graveyard. Shuffle them back into the deck, and if you do, you can shuffle cards from your opponent's field up to the amount of cards that you shuffled back, so up to 2, and then shuffle those back. Doesn't target also, which is nice. I used to make Noble Knight players at my locals very mad. I was literally 12 years old, getting threatened over Madolche. They're gonna go Dragos Tapalia, target the queen. Go ahead, shut that down. I mean, you have to stop Tiramisu. It's mandatory. Otherwise, it's just gonna out your Dragos Tapalia and out another card. 4 minutes 45 seconds left. Someone said common Tiramisu. Ulti Tiramisu does look really clean, but common's not bad. Common's not bad. Common cards just look clean. Like, they look okay. They don't look bad. If I could take all the hollows out of my deck and turn them all into commons, I would do that 100%. Goes ahead, goes for a chocolate there. Okay. Multi might want to press the admit defeat button. You know, there's 4 minutes left. This is usually the time that the admit defeat button is getting the most value. So effect to go put back. I mean, come on. This admit defeat button's got to be pressed here soon, right? Multi, there's 3 minutes and 30 seconds, bro. What if your opponent takes 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on their turn? You draw. Do you not? You definitely have time cards because you have Gigantic and Sprint in your deck, so you got options. They're gonna go battle phase, attack Kakalos, trying to beat over it. Like, come on, bro, just put it in grave. It's already there. You gotta move. You gotta, like, now you're committed into this game. Now you gotta move quick. Taking slow, asking what cards do. You don't have that opportunity anymore. Like, you gotta go a little bit quicker. You gotta be quicker in that. Banish Jet. Banish Elf. Banish Chocolate, the one with the materials under it. But I guess Yugen would be fine with it, right? Taking the draw over the loss? That sounds good. We'll take that. Okay, go ahead. Uses the duck effect. Discard Angelic. Chains called by on the duck! Wait, do we have a... We don't have a great... Yeah, I was going to say, we don't have an Ishizu to shuffle. Otherwise, we could chain to put back our duck to dodge the called by. Reading over the duck. It's not going to do anything because called by. And that will not do anything for the rest of the match because there's 2 minutes left. Oh my gosh, plays Gaia Dragon. Oh, Gaia Dragon into Zeus. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Hoot Cake effect to go banish. Well, I guess target something. I think they still have an Ishizu, right? Or did they have to use the last one to put back Elf? Okay, so they chain Dragos to Paleon, Hoot Cake, and then chain Zeus, and chain Crime. Gets rid of the Midoriya. It gets shuffled back into the extract, the Zeus, by the way. Normal merely affect the mill. Hit Shay. That's game. Shaylin effect diffuse. Just, yeah, summon. Well, I can't summon that. Unless if you also put back a Rhino. Which I don't think they did. Yeah, you know, you got a minute. You know, you got a minute. You can slow down and take your time, bro. Like, the game's over, right? Like, at this point, you got to make sure you're doing stuff legit. You just shuffled your deck? Wait. Did you not just shuffle? Bro, this is what I'm saying. Like, last turn you should have been trying to play, like, super quick. This turn, bro, I'm not saying slow play. I'm just saying slow down a tiny amount. The game is over anyway. You win the game. Your opponent's on 0 cards. Like, you're not gonna be like, people are gonna be like, oh, you scummed for time. You literally have 2 negates and your opponent's on 0 cards. The game's over. Just slow down. Don't mess this up. Take the W. Do not somehow mess up into you know, you don't want to get hit with warnings and stuff. Those carry throughout the entire tournament and come back to bite you, especially if you get put on like the feature match again later on. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see Malte Ishizu Tearlament beat Madolche there in round 5. Unfortunate for the Madolche player. I would love to see their deck again. I hope that they make top cut. I recognize them, so they're very good players, so I got a lot of hope in them. And with all that being said, the DB Grinders signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.